The Book of Psalms, verse 13. Rise up, Lord, confront them, bring them down with your sword, rescue me from the wicked. Okay, so, hi everybody, this is Christian RPG Gamers. So, I know the background footage of this is from Star Wars. I think I just wanted to talk a little bit about the new video game that just came out. So, okay, so it's called Black. Oh, shoot. So it's called Black Myth Wukong. So, so I haven't I've watched some video footage on it. I just want to talk about it a little bit. This is not like an in-depth review or anything. It's just kind of some of my probably like more like some of my thoughts on it. But since it just came out recently, it's a little bit hot, so I might as well try to make something about it a little more interesting, right? Or a little more up to date. So, okay, so some of my thoughts about it. It does, in my opinion, look like it looks, in my opinion, like a fun game to play. I think that is the start of what I would put at it. It has. I don't know if I'd go as far as to say that it's not really a Souls game, but it does seem like the combat has a level of challenge to it. It's like a third person style of a game. So you're this you basically like a monkey human in a sense, and you have this big long like quarter staff that you can make it longer, so you can like kind of prop yourself on top of it. You can kind of lunge down on your foes, and again you're fighting against these you fight against it's because it's supposed to be set in like a Chinese mythological setting. So you're fighting against these like different like rodent-looking people. Like there's like some of them are like some like hogs or pigs. Although I'm not an expert on like Chinese mythology, but yeah, so you walk around the map, and you kind of you fight against these certain elite style enemies, and then there's like they have like a passive story. And again, it's not Souls. It's more like an action RPG game, but it does look like it has a level of challenge to the combat. So, I think mostly just when you lose, you just kind of restart back up again. And again, it has like a passive storytelling, and there are some direct story aspects to it, but it's like a lot of the story is it's kind of like they have some characters, and you talk to, and you do some little like missions or side quests or little quests. And overall, I feel like overall it just looks like a pretty fun, interesting game. I don't think it's like top notch by any stretch of the imagination, but it definitely looks like it could be a lot of fun to play. And I mean, I do like a lot of those types of games myself personally. But okay, so again, I also want to try to put some kind of a Christian spin on this. What kind of a Christian style of message could I put on this? So I mean, okay, so I would say it's like basically it's set in a it's set in like you could call it a fantasy world. I mean, these days it's hard to even keep track of what really is considered to be fantasy or not. They had like the quote unquote like the God of War, and they had some other stuff. A lot of these are based kind of off of it's based off of mythologies. So it resembles the real world in a lot of ways, but the story itself focuses on different characters from different like religions and different ideas. Okay, so generally speaking, I would view it as, as like you can come in with the attitude of just like, it's just neutral fictional entertainment with characters and like an interesting story. And you could choose to just try to learn something from it and try to find some kind of enjoyment and satisfaction. I don't know. I mean, again, like I would say, like, so yeah, it has fantasy aspects. It has like, like quote unquote, like they call him like the Monkey King and stuff, or the Monkey God, and it has like I mean, without going into like heavily into spoilers or whatever, but it does have a lot of like figures from that type of timeline and story that you probably would expect. And in a lot of ways, a lot of these kind of like more fictional with like probably even more like fantastical elements. I mean, because it's a monkey rather than like, it basically knows like a humanoid. So it's a humanoid-like figure but instead of being human, it's basically a monkey instead of a human. I mean, again, like I do like a good story, and I also do enjoy, some good combat or whatever. It's like, I feel like the difference between like, this kind of a story and something else is like, yeah, they're not like, it's not like a story where it's like open, full scale, like witchcraft being pushed, or like, heavy demonic themes. It's just like a very normal, neutral world with some, kind of like what do you call it? Like a cosmetic skin of like, the Wukong monkey stuff. But yeah, and so, I mean, I don't really know the answers to some of these questions. I mean, I view this probably more on like the lighter side than like the heavier side. Like, there are some content out there that is just extremely dark, and I really don't view this game as being like one of the worst possible offenders. But I mean, like a scale, I'd probably say it's like maybe like a 4 out of 10 on like the very like, heavy fantasy themes. It's fantastical at times, but I mean, I really don't think it's that bad personally. But to each their own. I think I think it's probably fine for a person of the faith to play it. I mean, like, but these days, I mean, you got to screen what you're watching, but I mean, it's mostly just like, it's just an interesting, good story with some different, like, animal like looking people and stuff. And I also would argue that the story is not like the main primary focus of the game either. Like, the main focus is it's really the combat. It's the combat with like some exploring a little bit with a light story attached to it. I know I'm not. I don't have the footage right now for it. It's fine. Yeah, I was also watching some video. I watched it from this guy. He's a YouTuber. He streams every day. I mean, I like him personally. It's called his name is Brian Menard. If you're interested, maybe go check him out. But yeah, like I was watching some footage from it, and I'm gonna be real. Like, it does make me want to play it. Like, I mean, I definitely would be interested in playing it or using it as background footage for some stuff. I mean, to be honest with somebody, I personally like the monetary value from it. I feel like, to me personally, I don't know that I really value it as like $70 game myself. It definitely looks like a good game, and I mean, obviously everybody has their own like money situation, but I feel like the game. I think in my opinion, this is my personal subjective taste, right? If you have the money, feel free to support whoever you want or whatever you want. I probably wouldn't pay more than $20 for it myself. I'd buy it. I'd play it for like, a couple days or something, or passively. I'd fight a bunch of the bosses or something, and I'd explore the world for a while. To be honest, I probably would get bored. because it's not like I don't think I'm crazy fond of the story. And the story is, it's okay. From what I can, well, this is my personal taste. It feels, in my opinion, like a mid-tier story. It's not bad, but it's not like phenomenal either. I mean, I would have a good time if it's probably like, I mean, like 3 to 4 hours long or something. You mean like a game movie on it or something, or it was like a 2-hour long game movie or something. I'd probably watch it. I have a good time. To me, these kind of games are not the kind of games that I probably would pour like hundreds of hours into or something. But I'd have some fun for a while. So I'm not, again, I know that's probably it's a very subjective taste or whatever, but for me, I'd rather buy a game like this on like a bargain bin and just play it very casually or very chill, or put it on a little bit easier difficulty or something, or just kind of just relax a bit. But yeah, but I do like and I do enjoy new concepts and new ideas, and it seems like a passion project. Like the people who made this kind of a game, it looks like they cared a lot, and they put effort in to make it something cool. And it is, to be honest, it is a little bit different and a little bit weird, I guess you could say, compared to a lot of stuff out there. But it's like, he makes like a bunch of monkey noises and stuff when he's like walking around or fighting. And I mean, I don't know. It has a very unique taste. Oh, I think someone's dog's barking out there. Nothing I can do. But yeah, again, like overall though, I feel like because this is some of my thoughts on it. Some of my more first impressions or thoughts on it, but I would say it does look like it's a lot of fun, and I'm sure whoever would play it would definitely enjoy it. Now, unless you were a hardcore fan of this kind of game, again, I'd probably pay $20 for it. Get all the DLCs, get all the patches or whatever, and I'd play it for a while. I'd have a good time. Now, that's just that. So that's probably what I recommend money wise. I don't know if I could really recommend more than that, but and again, it feels like one of those kind of games, I don't know if it's from PlayStation, but it feels like one of those they punched out these the cookie cutter games like these every year or whatever. So I mean, I really have a hard time really recommending or really being that I just don't really care that much when they cookie cutter punch out every single one of these games, and they make so many different versions like this all the time, and they're a lot of fun, but I mean, I have my limits too, but yeah, I guess something else I could say, obviously if I'm a person of the faith, right? In holiness I worship God, and I believe in I should at least I should, and if you're a person of the faith, you should care about your own religious history and wanting to learn the lore and aspects about what you believe and why. And I think there is truth to this, that we as people of the faith, or really just human beings in general, we can and we should show honor and respect to lore. And this is Chinese lore, and it has some mythological aspects to it. I mean, regardless of whether you agree or disagree with everything in it, I do feel like at the end of the day, we have the ability to choose to respect and honor things. So this is a good chance for people to learn more about you know, some of the aspects of a different country and their different beliefs and ideas. So yeah, those are some of my thoughts about the game. Kind of some very early impressions, but yeah, like, you know, again, it looks like a lot of fun. I mean, I personally just don't. I probably, to be honest with you. So what I would say is, you should probably just go find like a streamer playing it, or somebody who's find a video on YouTube and watch a video on it. To be honest, I feel like that's probably your best deal. And if you really like it and you got some extra money to spend, you know, maybe then go buy it. And it's a lot of fun. But is it really worth $70? Probably not, to be honest. But if you got $70 to spend, you know, you can have a wild time for like a day or two. So yeah, thanks for watching. I appreciate it. God is good. Oh yeah, I guess one other thing before I end this. I just want to say, you know, if you have any of your own thoughts, you have any of your own like opinions or beliefs or ideals, or if you have a Christian perspective and point of view, feel free to, you know, write in the comments below. I guess I'll also just say that, oh shoot. Oh, I accidentally, that was an accidental mistake. Oh, but here, you know what? I'm gonna talk about it anyway. So it's, accidents, like, they can be good sometimes. I think for the channel. Oh, here, wow, this is super ironic. Okay, like I want to sin, like, you know, in holiness, like the right hand of God. I think for the channel going forward, I made the decision that I'm just gonna end my walkthroughs and like, now I never really did like live streams, but you know, that kind of stuff. I'm just gonna let it go. And I still have my walkthroughs like on my BitChute. If you're interested, go check that out. If you're interested, or maybe some of my other alt techs out there. But I think that the goal is this: is that going forward, I'm gonna focus. I made a new little writing today. Going forward, I'm gonna focus on the channel's gonna call it more of a Christian commentary channel. So things like reviews, thoughts on, guides, reaction, and then maybe like, you know, content exploration. I'm not sure the best way to say that, content exploration, but like, you know, maybe I go through like a quest and I talk about some cool stuff in it or something, or these kind of general ideas. So I think, you know, going forward, the channel, the walkthroughs and stuff like that, I'm just gonna let that die, and I'm gonna focus more on, you know, making it more like, you know, like a commentary style. Maybe this is like the channel's destiny, right? So, but no, it does. I mean, like, obviously, I'm still making content for it, but at some point, I also need to probably take a break. But yeah, so like, I mean, I want to focus more on, like, you know, on this kind of stuff, just like in general, like stuff like reviews and stuff. And my other goal is that, you know, it's like, I mean, I can just enjoy other people's, I can just enjoy hanging out with other people in like live streams and stuff, because like I do like a good story, but like maybe I don't have to make the story myself. It's like I like playing, like, you know, like Dungeons and Dragons or tabletop like RPGs, but do I really want to be a game master? Or like I like playing Magic the Gathering, but do I really want to be like a judge? I mean, that stuff is very stressful. It's exhausting. And I'd rather just focus, I think, even for the channel, right? I'd rather just focus a little bit more on, maybe a little bit more like being like a niche, like, you know, like a Christian perspective on and stuff. And like, you know, when maybe like a new game comes out, obviously this is a little more off the fly. I mean, I like to do like a little bit of a script and, you know, just like some more commentary. So obviously I know that might offend a handful of people. But sometimes I guess it's just the way life, you know, is moving forward. So, like, in holiness, if it's within God's will, I think going forward, the channel is just going to be more of a, commentary. I'm going to let the walkthroughs die. And to be honest, most of my walkthroughs, they weren't, like, terribly successful or anything anyways. So, but yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah, and it's like, no, Wukong. Again, I think there was a first Wukong game that came out. I don't know if they're technically connected together. I know they made some kind of a Wukong game, I think like 5 or 6 years ago. Again, I'm not sure if this is an actual sequel to that game, but it looks like it's heavily, inspired by it in a lot of ways. But yeah, like, and again, also, like, I personally do like the idea of an I think it's called like anamorphic, anamorphic or something like that. Like, humanoids that are like, animal-like. Because there's another game out there called like Tales of Iron, and there are franchises out there that do have some cool looking stuff, and there is great stories to be told. But I mean, it's kind of nonsense at the same time. But yeah, like, it can be a lot of fun. You just kind of keep your wits about you. All right, thanks for watching. God is good.